What do you
Okay.
mean your channel?
My recording's on.
What's going on?
Mine's also on.
Alright,
Yo!
so this is just like a conversation about Comic 7, the most overbloated, overhyped, overrated
Piece of shit.
piece of shit that this community is glazing of recent times. It's kind of shocking to me just how much people are permitting it. I don't know. I think you guys have similar sentiments on that.
I mean, I was kind of surprised because I saw like people in the community is kind of fragmented. You have people who are like, you know, edgier on the edgier side,
Yeah,
and a lot of them
Replacing it.
kind of. Yeah, I was genuinely shocked.
or like gabbers and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to
Names.
name names. Let's edit that one out.
Why? All right. So
But
you don't want to get in the clout.
it doesn't seem too wise, in my opinion. But
Don't want to.
I also don't want to talk shit because I actually respect his opinion on it because he had an interesting take.
What was his take?
Well, we'll get into that in a moment. But like,
Alright, well,
this is a video. I mean, we all talk to each other. This is a video that we've been planning to make for like what?
A while.
Like pretty much ever since you started your channel, right?
well, ever since I read the comic,
Craig.
I was completely
much.
out of the loop. I had
Even
no.
before that.
I just couldn't see everyone's view on it because for me it quite clearly had a very negative message. But I had my own little crib sheet of things to talk about. I don't know what you guys have got listed in yours things for a bit of impromptu things, but I know
I added a
everything
couple
need
bits to yours, and I actually was reading it yesterday. I noticed some things I didn't notice before.
Yeah.
That I don't think anyone else noticed either.
Well,
But
Yeah.
I think the core thing to start with then, just because it kind of sets the video up right on like why we're talking about this ultimately, is that these comics, they're stories and they're telling a story about the game, a story about the community. So what's the purpose of a story? It's about packaging your ideas, your sentiments, those sorts of things. Every story does this, and it's also something that the game does. And fundamentally, the game's story and what it originally was, almost certainly, you've seen the videos. You guys must have seen the videos about like the art style of Badwater Basin and Two Fort and stuff. The character silhouettes. That's a story,
yeah.
and the comics are like as far removed from that story as it can be, without just being a different story. And that really sums up for me like the.
well, we should probably just stick to Comic 7, but I would say a lot like 1 through 6. There's also a lot of things in those that
bit
are like
before that as well, and the ones before even then.
yeah, like there are cracks in the writing. I feel like in a lot of ways, but like even if you accept 1 through 6 as like
7 just undermines
being
even
good,
those.
Yeah,
that's part of that's kind of the primary focus is like
nail in the coffin there, isn't it? It's destroying its own.
It's like whether you like 1 through 6, it doesn't matter because 7 just takes them, throws them in a blender, mixes them up, and then throws it out. So he just throws it outside. It just.
I mean, while we're at the start here,
everything.
I'll be the first to admit, I used to think that TF2 comics were like really good, like when I first read them in like high school. You know, they were.
I used to think they were
like
funny.
pretty. Yeah. That's what I will say. I used to think they were like really funny. They were like hilarious, but I never took them seriously. I never took them too seriously. But my thing is, I feel like in some ways, and maybe for other people as well, that's like bitten me in the ass a little bit because like
Drops your guard.
what happens is you can't really help it. Like you just do take things seriously that you care about, right? And it's like I could only laugh at something for so long before I want to laugh with it or alongside it or whatever, if you know what I mean. So like
breaks the barriers down. Yeah, you feel closer to it than you really should do because it's like like the joke's a shortcut. It's a bit. It's like kind of interesting that then like the parallel because it's like it's emotional manipulation. It's like this comic and these series of comics have manipulated people emotionally by making them laugh. Well, I'm not laughing, so Maybe that's provides
Well, it's
some
like
immunity.
Definitely not laughing with it.
I'm not laughing at it.
Well, the thing is that like, even though it's not meant to be taken seriously, it's like you can't force someone to not do that. And the fact of the matter is that people are going to do that, and I would say most people take TF2 seriously, if not the story, certainly the game.
You would think so when you look at all the things the community have produced. You like look at all these analysis videos, these commentary videos. You know,
there's animations.
Yeah, there's criticism of the game that's done in a really humorous way, like just a little small touch of one, like the Huntsman's arrow, its hitbox. It was a bit janky. It's too big. I'm gonna make a big parody video about it, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And it's like, oh, that's really creative, and it's really funny.
The Ouija Kudus.
Yeah, but it doesn't. But if you just go back to like commenting on that bit about all the comics were good because they made me laugh. The comics make you laugh with stuff like, oh, Tom Scout's illiterate. It's like, it's not really building upon this world here. It's just undermining the character. Whereas that is actually a joke that facilitates it because it's framing it. It's like the hitbox shouldn't be that janky, right? So and it's doing that by like flanderizing, satirizing it with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, as if it's a really difficult question, and it isn't, because the answer's obvious. It's going to kill the heavy, even though it shouldn't.
One of these is taking a problem, shedding some light on it with a joke. The other one is just making a joke at the cost and expense of the other thing.
Yeah, it really is. It's eating up.
Difference there.
It's like consuming negative energy. And when you think about all the ideas and the craft and the sentiment that went into the design of Team Fortress 2, you know, just not just the story, but the gameplay and art style. Do you really want to give that away just for a joke? Like, well, that's kind of like what we got with the art style, and has that been good? The watering down, the grade of all the silhouettes.
The banana was funny, wasn't it?
There you go.
That was real funny.
But why don't we like talk a bit about then the comic itself rather than alluding to all the importance?
Yeah, because so that's what I was going to lead into with the other thing is that like there are, even though the comics collectively are not meant to be taken seriously, they have built up like a lot of these important questions.
They built up on mythos, and Comic 7 undermines
the game modes as well. It was undersetting Man vs Machine, which has its fair share of absurd things in it too. That isn't a good thing. Just like really takes you out of the experience. Running on money, sort of junk, just lampshade.
Robots running on money, and
the robots being stupid and can't tell it.
To be fair, they could have said. To be fair, both of those things could have been explained. How do I put this?
They could have been better explained. Yeah, they're not critical.
It didn't need to be. They didn't need to run on money. However, Valve proceeded to release the Robotic Boogaloo tie-in comic that just confirmed that they are.
Yeah, when the game just had the money drop, suspension disbelief in it. You're just like, oh, I collect that.
You could assume it's gameplay.
It's like a paycheck.
Yeah, you could assume it's like a gameplay thing because perhaps
like there's multiple scouts,
like robot cores or something. If robot cores dropped instead and you ran and sold those back, that might have been confusing for players. So you could make the argument perhaps the money was intended to be a gameplay mechanic and not a real world. These things run on money. And
to reinforce it, just to get in before, because I know someone will comment this, because I made an allusion there to to them disguising themselves as cardboard monsters, cardboard robots to get in. And
that's the sales bot, right?
Yeah, it is.
No, that's not.
They do it in the comic.
Cardboard thing was the mecha engine update tie-in comic.
To tie in with the engineer being introduced, the robot engineer. But they'll go, oh, well, the spy has his disguise kit. But the thing with that is that it was a careful balance with the disguise kit. Just to cover that point before someone mentions it.
Disguise kit is actual spy tech.
Yeah,
the robot.
There's a degree of spy tech to it, but also it's a very small component that plays into like the Master of Disguise with his thing. Soldier's literally being played as an absolute buffoon moron against high-tech robots. This isn't a Frenchman pulling wool over your eyes, is it?
They could have justified that in saying Soldier did something so fucking stupid that Gray Man couldn't have anticipated it, but that also still means they made Soldier stupid.
Yeah. So it's like double critical pan, but we won't go into that. It's just to get in before that. It was a careful. My point there was that it was a careful balance of how much they did. You know that when they did silly things like cardboard cutouts of cows to blend into the ground, it was always in the background. It was a minor element to play into like a cartoon, you know, old American comic, you know, spy v spy stuff, and it wasn't a central point.
It's also to show you like, it's not the we're fighting over useless space. Like, no, we're fighting over land that they're disguising. It does.
It plays into that as well.
The 2-4 cow is fake, not because look, it's silly.
And the wooden building's fake as well. That's a good point.
It keeps you away. It keeps other people outside the conflict.
But the slaughterhouse itself is a disguise.
We've talked about before, like
I like that. That's a
the
2-4 buildings are fake. Those are fake. The red side is all shitty and cobbled together. A lot of the red buildings, a lot of the older maps have buildings that are just thrown together haphazardly, just to make it seem like there was something there. Same with Decoy and MDM.
The aesthetic of the game is like that sort of thing is meant to put up like a Western veneer over the spy tech shit.
Well, it's in like a desert, isn't it? It's in the Badlands.
Yep.
which plays into the Americana theme, because it's like, you know,
meeting an industrial.
When you think of America, you think of like, you know, like a cornfield and a cow on a field, maybe a cowboy, whatever. You think of all these kind of like stereotypically Western things, but then like what's behind that? Lockheed Martin. You know, like a missile silo. That's kind of like what TF2's art style is saying.
I mean, what are the original maps, right? Dust Bowl there's a giant missile in the middle of this fake, shitty shanty town. 2-4 has both bases they have spy tech all in the basements of them, but the buildings themselves are really cobbled together, don't look right. Well, the other launch, Hydro Blue Team's base is hidden under a car garage, but also Hydro is a giant hydroelectric dam. That is something of importance.
Anyway, just so we don't get too like.
Anyway, let's move straight back. Let's move straight back to comics then. So tell me something about Comic 7 that really stands out to you as like this is what the comic is telling me. If a story is telling you something, what's it telling? The time jump. Yeah, should we start with the time jump? The most obvious.
I'd say so. The time jump. What's the word I want to put here?
They skip us 7 years into the future, don't they? They basically alienate us.
That's the word. They basically force alienate you immediately from what's happened, because in 7 years so much can change, so they can get away with doing God knows anything, because
and you can't
in 7 years
and you can't say take us back. We have to change this situation that you put us in. It's like it's been 7 years. You can't do that now. There's no going back anymore.
They can justify not saying they did this in the Comic 7 because the character didn't need that to change, but if they had changed Scout, if they completely changed Scout's personality, for example, after 7 years, you can't criticize that. They've shielded themselves from criticism, quote unquote shielded, because it's a time jump. Anyone can change in 7 years, but it's facetious, isn't it? It's just totally facetious.
That stood out to me at the start, and looking at all in retrospect, when we got to the end of the comic, I was like, that was actually quite awful, and I hated almost everything about it. By framing it in that way, it gives this mental perception as if this is history. You can't argue against it. It's too far in the past. Let it go. All right.
Yep. This is the now. Yeah. All of them are happy, gathered around the table, eating fucking the Thanksgiving turkey.
But that was just some of the most obvious.
Well, I'll go with the next one because
give us the next.
I'll be honest. I was gonna say that one. I agree with the criticism about that, but it doesn't bother me as much as some other ones. Only because they have the soldier go back and explain what happened immediately after. So they are alienating you as far as like the ending goes with the fucking
which is well that's the point. Family. That's the point. It was completely unnecessary to do right at the start of the story. It's literally to make us, as the viewer, feel more powerless about the events going on in it, because
it's just
they need
lampshading because
did at the start.
I mean, we'll tell you what happened right after Comic 6, but then we're gonna jump ahead 7 years. But at least we told you about Comic 6, you know.
Well, they started 7 years,
you
then
don't
they
need to
go
worry
back
about
and
it.
then they do it again.
You don't need to worry about it. You don't need to worry about what happened after the ending of Comic 6. We
It
showed you that little snippet.
It exists to facilitate the Thanksgiving dinner ending. I think.
Ending.
It
exists to facilitate the Family Guy. Everyone's gathered around the table. Here's your spot ending.
What's the more egregious one then that you saw?
Well, I was just gonna go down the list like in no particular order here. I mean, but if I'll try to stay like in order of events and go with the next one that I know of, which is I remember reading it and like I was like, oh, this is actually gonna be pretty cool because I saw
Marasmus
was
I had that written down,
and I remember thinking like that this is actually pretty epic. Like it reminds me of
he's a made man. He made his own success in prison.
Yeah, like it seemed like it was gonna be a cool arc or something like that, but they just kind of like
they were gonna finally do something with him and not just treat him like a joke for once. I mean, it's still a joke. He's always a joke, but not in the how much worse can you make it for him? Oh, we're just gonna kill him now.
Well, you say that. I wrote this on my list.
They completely like castrated his character.
That was one of the most important things because it's a central element that keeps going through. So to keep this as like part of a conversation that we're having, because this bleeds in with other points that I'm sure you've got on your list. But to tie it back to original TF2, these were creative people coming together, and they wanted to capture a feeling of time in America, where it was a country that had great promise and potential, reaching an industrial time. So you've got that juxtaposition of that rural country time with a underbelly of industrialism that's taking hold in the nation, right? And it's captured all that in a very artistic, thoughtful way, all right? That even while you're doing these struggles and these fights that don't mean anything beyond your little gathering there, it feels like it's in a world that matters, all right, in a time that's purposeful. And then you got these comics, and literally the first part is a joke that basically says Erasmus is a goddamn idiot, all right, thinking that anything mattered, because look at him, he spent all that time, all right, he made his own success, and he's just dead because some random guy dug up through. It's
actually kind of.
It's literally a random killed him. It's not even like soldier killed. No,
just a random death.
Some random. Just some. The Korean mob.
Yeah, the mob.
Over $20.
A nonsense series of events. Meaningless.
Well, it's actually funny because I feel like the biggest problem I have with TF2 comics is it sacrifices a lot of those things that you talk about that you were talking about just there.
Capturing the time and space.
It sacrifices that to basically like pleasure the audience by making them laugh
with messages.
It trades that. Go on.
Well, that message with Erasmus and why it makes me so angry is because
it's nihilistic.
It's nihilistic. The punchline of it is it was all pointless anyway. It don't matter. And that is the central theme that all these comics have been leading up to. It's like a butchering, an absolute butchering of the original sentiment behind these conflicts, where you are pawns in a game fighting off against giant multinational corporations, red industries and blue industries. All right, your struggle in that battle was quote pointless, but it wasn't really. All right, it's just you were completely oblivious to the actual purpose behind these conflicts. Why they're happening. If anything, it's supposed to have you question your own actions and why you're doing them, whereas this comic basically, oh, who cares?
Well, what I was going to say about that thing is it's ironic because it sacrifices a lot of the seriousness to like facilitate, just basically pleasure feely, ness. But I when I was reading that, I felt like my pleasure feeliness was sacrificed because it was like I was reading it like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool, and then they just fucking like oh, can I join Team Fortress? Like, no, we need you to babysit our
fucking children.
It's like, well, that's lame.
Totally. Yeah, that's a funny way. That's
Like,
a funny thing to point out as well.
And then we kill you.
They justified destroying what they had to satisfy the audience, except now because they hate the audience, because the audience has expectations and standards and demands, to just turn you into a joke. In essence, Marasmus is a stand. Literally, in that comic, Marasmus is a stand-in for the audience. And what happens to us?
Build you up and shit you down. It's every time.
Yeah.
Build you. It's what Comic 7 does repeatedly on loop. Build something up. Oh, it's gonna be cool. Oh, never mind. It's meaningless. It's meaningless.
I don't take the position that the writers of this thing like hate me necessarily. I just think they're like
I don't even need to. You don't need to subscribe
I
to
just
that.
think they're nihilistic.
I
like,
think it's a
Gen X
subconscious thing. I
millennial
think
vibes.
it's
you don't need to
known
subscribe to
unspoken
that.
truth.
You can just witness
maybe
everything,
it is.
everything in the comics. Whether you think that they did it because they hate you or they're just nihilistic, it's
I
still
think
just like the truth. This is just how they treat it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
hey,
just how they treat it.
We're gonna build up this thing.
Neglect.
We're gonna build up this thing for you, and then we're gonna rug pull you.
And that ties into it.
Ending of comic 6. Oh, there's no more Australium in the world. Beginning of comic 7. Just kidding. Soldier has it in a cave.
You have like a giant horde. Just and that ties into it all being pointless anyway. Why did we travel all across the world? It was all pointless. It's just a whack-a-pop-a-more world where you just travel around different maps and pop a mercenary.
Really, like, did anything of value actually happen because of their little escapades looking for the Australium? No.
Well, they killed the original mercenaries. Another thing where it's just, they just die. They were supposed to be really good TF classics. They made them a joke as well.
They killed Greyman. They killed Greyman for some reason. I still don't get that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna kill Greyman. This guy's been built up since 2009.
Because it ties into Comic 7. Whatever plan she's got with it is worse. No, it wasn't.
What's her plan?
It just literally wasn't.
What's her plan? Yeah. I'm gonna keep one guy alive forever, including me, because I'm stupid and I hate this guy.
She also like the last of the Australium. You think she's gonna do something really? She's about to do something really important. Like what?
No, she just does nothing. Oh yeah, I need to make sure I look young. I need to make sure I look young before I talk to this guy who's been sitting in a chair. It's probably brain dead by now. Yeah, I need to look young for the brain dead guy. Good lord. Yeah. He's probably brain dead. I think Zephaniah Man is just totally brain dead.
Well, we see his ghost on one of the maps.
You do? Well, yeah, that's another total. I don't even think the writers bothered reading their old shit or even looking at the game because his ghost haunts Harvest Event. His ghost shows up there. That's where I think he's. I don't think he's buried there, but
do you guys?
That's where he shows up. He's dead.
Yeah.
How is his ghost?
Yeah, he's the towel.
He's actually alive.
He's the blanket ghost, isn't he, with the hat?
Yes, that's him. That's him. How can he show up on Harvest Event if he's still alive?
Mm-hmm.
The comic says he's been alive this whole time. Unless you want to say, oh, well, maybe... No, hold on. They want to say, oh, he died. Maybe there's periods where he's dead. But if there's periods where he's dead, you can't bring him back if he turns to dust. He would turn to dust if he... That's what happens at the end of the comic. They show as soon as he's off of the Australian for minutes, he turns to dust.
What did he do that was so horrible? Well,
we don't know.
He killed a family. Oh, that was so horrible. Unthinkable.
But did he even do that? We don't even know. We just have 3 different covers because the fucking writers couldn't decide. Yeah. Well, there's 3 different covers. There's one where her parents are murdered, like it's Batman, like you see blood on them. But they treat it like it's poisoned. And then there's one where they're under a frozen lake and they drowned.
My theory is they wanted you to. They like wanted to suggest something without saying it because they felt like if they said it would undermine the like.
Yeah, which is another way of saying what you're describing there. They lied to us. They were being manipulative and lying to us because they didn't have anything in it.
Wouldn't it have just been cooler if the administrator's plan? Well, the reason you can keep where she had red and blue keep fighting for forever. There's actually something to gain from that. These 2 companies, Red and Blue, they took over a lot of enterprises.
Yeah, they did.
There's a lot of control and control money and etc. you can get from this.
It's just to make one guy miserable.
Yeah, I mean that's why Gray Man, when he shows up, it's like he wants to throw a wrench into it. That's why, MVM, whether you like it or not, is like this. The whole thing is Gray Man's throwing a wrench into everything because now he's trying to take over all this, and she's like, no.
And these are just dealing with the story. If we talk about unsatisfying, unresolved payoffs, Scatum is Pauling. Yeah, just throw that away.
Scatum was Pauling one panel. Scatum was Pauling over the course of one page, not panel, one page. Oh yeah, I'm moving on, Miss Pauling.
Nice closure. Yeah, real good closure there.
Yeah, he was so madly in love with her for the rest, even in Comic 6 at the end. Still likes her. Oh yeah, beginning of Comic 7, 20 minutes later. Yeah, I'm actually done with you.
They also do. I'm on the panel right now. Actually, I just went to it. They also do a bit of lamp shading too, because they reference the fact that the comics themselves suggest something else is going to happen. So Scout says, when I was talking to you back in Siberia, well, not you, a miniature fairy version of you. You told me to never give up, to just keep persevering and wearing you down like drops of water born through stone, until I got to wherever your heart is and made you realize you love me. And I've been thinking, maybe you were wrong. No offense. It's like, why did they suggest that then? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Also, why?
I mean, it seems in line with the Gray Man thing you guys mentioned earlier, where it's like, Gray Man's like, oh, she's got something much worse planned.
Yep.
It's like, ooh, what is it? Ooh, what's going to be?
Gone.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
it's
It's pointless.
And this isn't like
most moot art ever. Most wet fart ending of all these different plot elements that they've been building up to. They all just end with a wet fart.
Yeah. And it's not even about like just look at how much they're pissing on us as fans of the game, because they are. Making the game, the story a joke is doing that, and there's something else in it which is like really insulting, but whatever. I'll cover that after. This is just awful storytelling. Storytelling is about, promise, payoff, promise providing progress. That's it. Promise, progress, payoff. Right? You promise something, you make progress towards it, and then you see the payoff. Where's our payoff? Where's the progress?
Oh, here's your payoff. Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
This is terrible storytelling.
And it was all pointless.
This is anti-storytelling. This is an anti-story. Just how it's nihilistic, it's anti-everything.
Let's be honest. The reason people even care about the story is just for the ending.
It's just
I was going to say, I think a lot of people like it.
Hold on. It's literally Toy Story 3, where everything before the ending is irrelevant, but the ending made people emotional, so they latch onto that, and then they project that onto the rest of the story, even though the rest of the story didn't make them feel that way.
And the
rest of the story had people laughing. They were laughing at the rest of the story for the TF comic here. They were laughing at it. Okay, it was kind of funny. But the only thing that matters at the end of the day, why they're still holding on to their sentimentality towards it, is the ending.
And we need to unpack that.
That way. It was made to be that way. It was made maliciously and intentionally to be like, hey, here's this spot at the dinner table. We love you. Thank you for everything. It's like,
which is
manipulative writing.
Regardless of sentiment, I think a lot of people liked it because like it came out during a time when a lot of the TF2 player base was like basically demoralized,
begging for attention,
updates, and it's like they'll accept anything.
They'd accept
anything. If you think about it, like if this came out as part of a regularly scheduled program, like every Saturday tune in, right? This would not get accepted.
It's appalling.
I would say
they've been so beaten down.
It's because
they won't accept anything. Nothing, But let's just be honest here, they'll accept almost anything. Their standards are so low. The only thing they won't accept is if it came out and said something like, "We're deleting TF2. You've got 2 hours to wipe out your inventory." That's like the only sort of stuff that they won't accept. Or if they just opened up the comic and it was like They Live, when you put the glasses on, you see the true message. Just open the comic and just said, "Fuck you." All right. Maybe if they did that, then they wouldn't have liked it. Or play Overwatch instead, dick. All right. Then maybe they wouldn't have liked the comic.
Play Deadlock instead.
I opened the comic and I basically saw. It's funny you mentioned Deadlock there because I'm gonna get to this point. I did see it open up and said, "Demo sucks. Just play Overclock or whatever it was." Instead, that scene where the mercenaries are getting mogged. They've been like junking on the mercenaries all this time as if the mercenaries are a bunch of losers, and you got that scene in like that Overwatch facility. that Deadlock facility with all the other heroes on their frame pictures and stuff. You were her worst
Still
team.
cool looking. There's the mecha like demo. There's
Yeah.
like a mecha demo man.
So this is where we get into some of the call them copes if you want that I've seen from people in the community. But I'm going to present them.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to present them in a way that is like, you know, offering a bit of pushback.
All right. Yeah.
So, you know, one of these. I saw the video a couple days ago now. So, one of the videos I saw, the guy was basically trying to say like, oh, if you're like a midwit, then you'll interpret this as like, I mean, basically how we do, like fade away mercenaries.
If you are, yeah.
But he said what it actually is saying is like, and this is kind of what Miss Pauling corroborates. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Oh, yeah.
That like, oh, you know, like they took off the Team F there because like they thought they were really shit, but no, they were actually the ones to save the day and do all the cool stuff.
Yeah, that's nihilistic.
That's
nihilistic.
I can also just tell you, like, I mean, if you want to view this from a meta perspective, yeah, guess what? Valve probably never thought TF2 would still be alive. And that is them being like, look, guys,
the final
you guys are still around.
So like, what I've heard at least one person say is that like it's a commentary on Valve because Valve is undervaluing the mercenaries and prioritizing these other.
Yeah, they are.
Is that why they undervalued the comic?
Which even though I disagree with his like glazing of it, I actually agree with that interpretation.
I think that's a good interpretation. However, I wouldn't glaze that. I'd say that's really despicable. That is some actual like karmic retribution shit. We're gonna put our sins on display so that we can't be judged for it.
What you got? The thing is with that co-op, and it's an intelligent co-op, right? Because they usually are. That's what human beings use their intelligence to do, to excuse themselves from facts and logic and reality. Because the reality of that is that it's actually nihilistic and it's a fantasy. So basically, if we just reject our own common sense and our suspension of disbelief, we can concoct a fantasy universe, right, where the people who are literally being framed as complete total losers save the day as the big heroes, which we all know doesn't actually happen in real life.
Yeah, so this is another interesting thing that I noticed yesterday because I was looking through some of the panels. Where is it here? I have some opinions on like the writers maybe have interpreted the characters as, and I kind of see Miss Pauling as like kind of representing the audience in a way.
Oh yeah.
Because she like bigs up the mercenaries and like says like, oh yeah, we're Team Fortress and all that shit. She's real fucking patriotic for Team Fortress. And she's talking to Engie. Maybe I have to go back to this panel. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm right on it.
You remember the gist of it?
While you pull that up, I'm just going to conclude my point.
It's right here. Oh wait, no, fuck! I have to go back some more. 85.
The one where she's like, nobody thought we could do it.
Yeah. She's basically talking to Engineer, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, no one thought. It's like we actually did it. No one thought we'd be able to. But we actually were able to find because Engie's like, how did you find this Australian? But what's funny about that is that was just some random fucking retcon they threw in.
Yeah. Exactly. That's a good quote.
Oh yeah, he had some in his cave. Wow, yeah, Team Fortress is so awesome, guys. So
they really overperformed. The true underdog story when you know Yeshua shoved his hands up everyone's ass and just conjured from the mouth, you know, the golden ticket. You know, just some great commentary. Good quote there, guys.
The underdogs when
true underdog story.
Don't worry, guys. Deus Ex Machina. God came down.
First, they beat us.
Let me read it just to back up what I'm saying.
All right, yeah.
She said, Engie says, I gotta tell you, it created a real problem here, Flo. I guess Miss Pauling's first name is Flo. Miss Pauling says, I followed no orders, Engie. And Engie says, I know. I just never thought you'd actually find more. And then Miss Pauling says, Nobody did though, did they? Not any of the good teams, not the administrator, not even you. And that's on the panel where Demo Man is looking out at the demo mag. Which
it's also funny. It's also funny to say Miss Pauling also thought that there was no Australian left in the beginning of the last comic and the beginning of this comic. Like,
it's kind of like
she's trying to prove. It's like, what are they trying to prove with that?
They really earned it. They earned
conversation.
They earned that.
We earned it
trove.
because Soldier just had it in a cave. Because Deus Ex Machina. We earned that Deus Ex Machina.
I earned
it. No, you didn't. You failed. You failed.
First they beat us, then they kill us, then we win.
It's like, what?
So fucking bad. So bad. It's
it's kind of like the story. Like I feel like often with the comics, this goes to the other ones, but Seven does this as well in a lot like these kinds of ways. Is the comics spend all their humor telling you how lame and shit the mercs are, but then when the cards are down, it's like, oh, the mercs, you know, they're the best, aren't they? It's like, what? No, you just spent the past like fucking
and that plays in
telling me how shit they are.
That plays into nihilism, because it's basically telling you that whether you're committed and skillful, alright, and have willpower to become jacked like Marasmus, or you're literally a bumbling moron with holes in his teeth, alright, it doesn't matter, because Marasmus didn't have a cave full of Australium. He doesn't get to be on Team Fortress. Fuck him. And then he dies. He gets put in a brick. It's nihilism. It's just nihilism.
There's another retcon there that ghosts have to possess an object from where they died. That's also a retcon because guess what? The Mann brothers don't have to do that. They have Hell Tower. They don't have to do that. But hey, you know, what do we know about retcons?
Well, there is their bodies in the payloads, but whatever. All right. Is there any other little court bits you want to highlight in? Because what we need, the final thing we should mention is just that last panel, which just sums to me that's what made me think it's hateful. And
is it the thing with Saxon Hale?
Yeah, it is the thing with Saxon Hale. But we'll wait for this final cup if there is any arguments for cup, because we don't want the video going too long.
I don't know if you guys want to cover any more details. I found some more last night. Like for instance, actually these are obvious. I just didn't really I just counted them. Let's see. The Zephaniah Man will was retconned, because when they do the flashback.
I got this one. I pointed this one out yesterday.
Sure.
In Zephaniah Man's will from 2009, by the way. Yes, they smudged it with dirt, and then they revealed it when Man vs. Machine was finally teased. Gray Man, he tells the administrator in his will, my pathetic son Gray Man has recently resurfaced and is trying to blackmail me for my magical gravel, which turns out to be Australium. So she knows Gray Man's alive. But in the last comic 7, in the flashback where she kills herself, she's like, I can't believe you're alive. What the heck? They told me you were killed, Gray Man. Now, the only cope you could say with that is maybe she's bluffing to Gray Man to pretend like she doesn't know who he is. Her father.
And why does he show up? Why does he even show up in the comic anyway?
I know my father had a stash of mystery gravel, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it does for some reason, even though I shouldn't tell you what it does. Yeah.
And why is he there?
They make him an idiot.
What's he there for anyway?
He's there because he wants the Australian. He knows.
No, but what's he adding to the story? What's it add to the story for? Yeah, exactly, nothing.
It just made no. It does add something. It made Gray Man look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Why does he show up and tell the administrator, hey, I need, my father left you a bunch of stuff, right? He left a bunch of mystery, like, magical gravel. The miracle gravel, I think he calls it. He left a bunch of it for me. It's actually Australian, and you can use it to extend your life. Actually, you know why it's there? Because there needs to be an excuse for her to dig up Zephaniah Man and then bring him back to life. And because Gray Man tells her how to use the stuff, that's how she knows. They have to justify the ending where she's keeping Zephaniah Man alive. Which, by the way, if he was dead for 6 months, you are not bringing that back with Australium.
Hold on, I'll offer a bit of pushback to that. Doesn't. So it's stupid that he explains it. I agree with that, but doesn't he also need to revive her with the Australium in order to figure out where it is? Because she's the only one who would know.
But she doesn't need to know it's Australium. She doesn't need to know. She doesn't.
About this. One is that. Yeah, one is that he could have lied, said, "Oh, I did CPR or some shit, or whatever." Like, "Oh, I have my ways." I don't know. That's
it
one
doesn't
thing.
work out for him anyway.
And then maybe, and this you can call this a pacing thing if you want. Maybe she kind of knows that, he used the Australian to do it. The fact that he kind of just straight up tells her is a bit weird.
She doesn't.
The other thing that's kind of stupid is that she's
Basically
hiding
confused.
it. She's hiding it like right in that room. Like you think she
Under
would-
a couple sheets. Under a couple sheets. And he doesn't
Yeah,
even bother to check. He doesn't bother to
it's
check,
a little,
right?
it's a little weird. Like in terms
Running
of
under the
presentation.
assumption. Why did these very shiny objects? Oh yeah, you can just throw a drape over them. You won't notice. Also, when she. Also, he cuts her down from the thing when she hangs herself. He cuts the rope and then revives her. Does her body hitting the floor not shake any of the drapes that are on top of these things, revealing a little glitter, like a little
That's
shimmer?
again a bit,
I don't know. That could be.
much, I don't know.
That could be ignored. That could
It's
be
more the
ignored, but,
presentation. It was more the presentation I thought was a bit strange, but
If she
none of
dug up
it is
that
like
from the backyard, that'd be more. If she dug it up from the backyard, that'd be more believable. Not. Oh yeah, he's in the same room. He doesn't check anything. He doesn't check the house at all.
It was just such a pointless
I think
scene.
they just did that for dramatic effects, though. Like,
It was such a pointless scene.
Right.
The real thing that we should
Yeah,
focus
but
on
the
is why on
dramatic
earth
effect
is
he
this
should
happening?
dig it up.
What?
Why is it happening? Why? Well, the point he's making is why is it even happening?
Exactly.
Why are they including this?
It's
So
completely
he
needless.
wants to know where it is.
No, what's it adding to the story?
Nothing.
Well,
Nothing.
he's
The only
a
thing
character
that
in the
can add.
story.
That
He's
isn't an
dead.
answer.
He's
Pyro's a
already
character
dead.
in the story. Do I need to know why
Yeah, but-
Pyro likes
Greyman's
candy
already
canes?
dead. Yeah, but Greyman's already dead.
He's
It
dead.
doesn't matter.
It don't add anything.
We know he's after the Australian. We know that he knows that we know that he knows she has it. We've known that
Does it
for a
tell us
while.
more about how she wants
No.
revenge that we already knew? It's
No.
completely
It tells us-
needless. It's
There is
literally just
no
there so we
information
see
it
him.
provides us that is useful. Yes. There's
It-
no information that it provides us that is useful to the story. The
It-
only thing you could potentially say is that it explains how she learned about the magical properties of it, but that isn't something we actually cared about because if she had it, eventually it's safe to assume she would have learned how to use it. It didn't
Promise,
need to be shown how
progress,
she knew.
payoff.
None of those.
It's
There's
none of
those.
those. It's not a payoff to anything. We're not progressing towards any of our promises. What's it promising us? Nothing that we've been asking for. Greyman's dead.
Plus-
We don't know his plan. We don't know her plan. It doesn't tell us about her plan. It doesn't tell us about anything.
Nope.
So it does actually boggle my mind. Why on earth they put it in there? Valve, the shirking company that they are, they could have just cut those scenes out and saved a bit of ink money.
Remind me,
Digital
does that
link.
take place? Does it take place before or after it's shown that she's like keeping him alive? Zephaniah.
I think it's before we've shown that. So, what's
Still weird.
it? So there you go. Then it just helps waste our time because we're sitting
It's
there
still
being
weird.
like, when am I getting my promise, my payoff, or my progress?
The payoff is, oh look, she dug up Zephaniah's body to keep him alive. Again,
it
pure
makes its
bullshit, by
purpose
the way. He's
wasting
been
our
dead
time.
for like 6 months. He's been
it.
dead for like 6 months. His body's rotted.
So
How can you can't bring it back with Australian.
let's
As far as I
just
can tell. It's retarded,
let's
but
get to the final
whatever,
two
right?
scenes then, so that we know we've covered the main hitters. Because, like you said, all the comic, it's an awful story. It's contradictions in it. It's like nonsensical at parts and seems redundant. All that
Well,
bad stuff.
There's one more detail just to be comprehensive.
Oh yeah, go on, give me the final detail, and then we'll do those.
The Man family photo. There was a mysterious man that the community was wondering for a while who it could be.
They cut up from the photo.
They cut him from the photo and they like rendered it when they showed
Yeah.
it.
They when I think Soldier is showing Rasmus the photo, so he's explaining. They're the guy in the middle. He's just not there. He's literally not there at all.
Anyway,
Like,
that's
they removed it.
There's
They
not really a
removed
cope to that.
the
It's
photo.
clearly just
There's no cope. There's
Yeah.
clearly we didn't actually know what to do with this character that was set up years ago because I think this was this on the Haunted Halloween special thing all the way back in 2009. I don't know. All I know is it's old, and they couldn't explain whoever the guy in the middle was. They just cut him.
maybe it's the civilian from Emersus Blue.
Somebody
I
had
saw
an
someone. I saw someone speculate that it was Charles Darling. Or
Yeah, it
someone
was
in
like
Charles
his-
Darling's family or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the problem with that is like, who gives a fuck?
Real.
I'm sorry.
Who gives a fuck?
it's the stupidest like.
Maybe
part
it's
ever.
who gives a fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they cut it out. Really, is because who fucking cares?
I mean,
What it does,
I mean, if
it
it was Charles
shows.
Darling's thing, it just shows they don't care.
It just
Oh,
shows
we
lazy
set up this
storytelling.
thing. we set up this thing and we're just going to snip, snip, snip. Oh, you're not. He's not.
Yeah, but
I know
perfectly
people in the
cut
community
corner.
cares, but like no answer they could come up with would actually live up to that like question.
This comic.
Maybe they should have finished the comic 7 years ago.
The comic cuts so many corners to this fucking story. It's a wheel. It's rolling down the hill. So shall we roll down to the where this hill is taking us? What's the bottom?
I don't even want to talk about this.
What's it leading us to? Well, there's those two scenes, but the first one is that manipulative. Oh, welcome to the dinner. All right. Ooh, we're all having a big party. Well, we get to see a bunch of the characters that didn't do anything in that final comic. What a great resolution! I've waited years for this. Oh, look at my closure. The sniper that doesn't say anything.
Pyro doesn't do anything or say anything.
So much closure. I'm so close, but I get to sit there.
He does say and do stuff, but like there's like 3 or 4 mercs that I believe, but don't.
What's Sniper
Demoman doesn't do anything.
Heavy talks about stealing the plane and flying it, and that's it. Demo has one line, I believe.
Oh no, Heavy actually does. Heavy does do something. He
it's so small, it's inconsequential because these characters just don't mean anything anymore. But apparently it's supposed to be a big closure, and then Spy takes his hat off and he just looks like the default model with it.
Nobody talks about this. People don't. Do people talk about this? They literally reveal what the Spy looks like, and nobody cared. You know why nobody cared? Because it was shit.
They might as well just
make videos about it, but like,
might as well
nobody cared.
The
hype died instantly. Nobody cared. People stopped caring.
Exactly.
I actually like the SFM render that the community came up with of him years ago. It shows like he has a regular hair, but it's like gray in the front, and he has a single. I don't know if you guys have seen it. There's like a single little like spike of hair at the front that comes out. You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about. I'll have to send it later. It's kind of funny looking. But it actually looks like what Spy would probably look like. Yeah, like the one that they show is he's just some fucking normal guy. Like
it's so bad. It's so bad because it's like it's a mystery that we didn't need to see, and it's just another manipulative trick of basically being like, oh, there you go, we're out now. There's no more mysteries. Why didn't they take Pyro's mask off? I wonder why. I wonder if that would have upset a particular demographic of people. If they took Pyro's mask off, that's why they didn't do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say they can't. They can take Spies off because we know that Spies at least.
So that pissed me off majorly, because literally that's just them being like, quick, destroy the potential of the series. We've got to destroy it all. No rock left. You know, liquidate it all. No mystery remaining. I'm surprised they didn't just end it with everyone dying. That would have been something they could have done. They could have had a plane crash right on top of that house and everyone's dead. And that's
no,
it.
You mean the ending to that one that the guy said on 4chan years ago? Where it just ends with a nuclear apocalypse. I honestly feel like that might.
I would have actually.
That honestly sounds like the original idea for this before Valve. This one feels like they whipped this up in like.
It would have been awful, but I would have preferred.
It would have been shit, but it generally follows what the previous comics set up so much better than this one that makes me think that was the old version that we were gonna get.
Yeah, and then
Valve rewrote it.
Do you want to like fill in a little bit on what that?
Yeah, so the original idea for that, if you guys interrupt me if I'm mistaken, but the idea is that the administrator had some sort of secret deal or plot with a mysterious individual, probably the guy in that painting, who I think was implied to be an entity similar to the G-Man. All right. And that they were actually orchestrating the events of the things to try and control the planet or set up some sort of situation.
If I recall correctly, it was an Eldritch
entity
that looked like Abraham
Eldritch
Lincoln.
entity looked like Abraham Lincoln, yes.
Yeah, there you are then. And what the administrator thought that she could control it or destroy it or something. That's what she was trying to use all the Australium to do. And that she was going to like blow up the entity, but it didn't work for whatever reason, because it was never going to work, and that's the evil, horrible scheme that was trying to be averted. Basically, the world is destroyed, but we find out, I'm like paraphrasing some of the bits. Remember the rocket that Sniper's mum snuck into? It had a bit of Australium in it. Crash lands on Earth, and then human beings that survive the apocalypse that have been reduced to like cavemen. They find this Australium, they start fighting over it, and they rip apart her clothes. Yeah, the battle continues, red versus blue, because they like rip out her clothes, and some of them get the blue and some of them get the red.
Yep.
And they fight over the remaining Australium inside that rocket ship.
And it honestly does feel like that was more more in line with the comics are going to.
That would have been awful, but it would have been
better. It does feel more in line. Yeah, it would have been that shit.
Because
at
least
that feels more in line with what they were doing.
At least then maybe we would have had some sort of sense of actual finality to a story, and it wouldn't have been manipulative. I mean, if anything, that's like the opposite of manipulative.
So something I'm forgetting, actually, I should have wrote this down, is the administrator actually whispers her motivation to Zephaniah.
Yeah.
And like you're meant to think like, ooh, we don't know what it is, but oh, it's so good. Trust me, it's so good. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And then what is her motivation?
It's like
for gore. Okay.
Just, yeah.
No, but they
never tell us.
They manipulate you because it's like, oh, trust me, it's really good.
It's like Lovecraft. Really good, it's like the monster shows up and it's so terrifying. You go insane. Trust me, bro. I'm not going to show you or explain it, but it totally would.
yeah.
The tentacles, man, they're just too wibbly wobbly. Yeah. Ah!
Oh, it's non-Euclidean, you know?
Ooh, non-Euclidean! Yeah.
It means
not rational, more like, yeah.
Santa Claus.
Anyway, so there's that bit there, and obviously Scout just sleeping with lots of people and all that bad shit. And I hate it. And Miss Pauling sends a turkey. Just fuck off.
Yeah, why doesn't she doesn't even show up? I still don't get that.
Because they don't want to. Basically, because if you ship Scout and Miss Pauling, they hate you.
They don't want her in the same room as him.
Yeah, pretty much. They don't want to suggest that there's any lingering thing there, which isn't a good thing, guys. This is what these developers think of you. You should just be lonely and miserable, or have mindless sexual intercourse with people and be a deadbeat parent. Anyway.
They actually suggest that Miss Pauling is a lesbian, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Jay Pinkerton thinks she's a lesbian. He said she's a lesbian.
The true final panel, the bit that just made me sit there and go, "Fuck you, Valve." All right, and I'm surprised more people didn't. Saxton Hale. What has it only been 7 years, and he's now become a big old.
No, it's like 50.
Guy?
It's
there
like
you go. It's
50 years later.
They do another jump cut, yeah.
Yeah, they do another jump cut, so you better. So, fuck you, players. There's no more story. There can't possibly be. It's 50 years of time has passed. Well, do you want to go back in time? What year has been? You want to live forever? And that tells you everything, doesn't it? The writers of this comic, that's their philosophy. Oh, what? Do you want to live forever? AKA, do you want to make something timeless and good?
Fuck you.
Yeah. Alright. Basically, I believe that Team Fortress... What's the purpose of a story? Alright? What did Team Fortress do? This is what leads it all back into. Why does this matter? Why are we talking about this comic? It's because TF2 actually does fucking matter. This comic doesn't matter. The writers don't think it matters. They tell you it doesn't matter because they say, what, you want to live forever? Basically just read it, enjoy it, and then piss off and forget about it. Let it fade away. Alright, and it's proceeded all throughout their story and what they made that story. Fuck off. Alright.
There's also like this element of like Australian being
evil.
Bad, which I don't understand. Like, are you saying that like power is evil?
Well, it's like anti-human progress, anti-human potential.
I mean, Australian is great. It allows you to make like future tech, which is awesome. But not according to these guys. Oh, it's really bad.
It's bad because people misused it and fought over it.
I talked about this with you guys.
Water's bad too then because people like use it to.
I talked about it with you guys before this. Why I wanted to help you guys with this video and talk about this sort of stuff is, you look at this comic, and these people. It makes me sad. Because they're giving so much credence and props and cover for this comic, and then I go and I look at all the amazing things that people in this community have made. They've put so much time and care and thought into it, and this is fan works, fan movies, appraisals, the players, yeah, even small things, just big, small,
like little SFM animations
and.
Big ones like MSS Blue.
And I look at the game itself, and I look at the commentary, and it's like, we put all this time into it, you know, after all these years of development, was it worth it? Every character needs a unique silhouette. We played it, and we had a bug, and we thought this had a great idea, great potential, and we made the spy, and we created the engineer because some players might not be that good at aiming, but they just want to be part of the experience and focus more on where the fight is, and all that sort of thought and care for this bigger piece, capturing an idea, a sentiment, a feeling, and the art.
Valve the company versus Valve the devs moment.
Just look at all that art.
TF2 devs and like designers in general, art, whatever. We went out of our way to make this meticulously crafted, beautiful world.
Beautiful.
With this innovative and fun gameplay. You look at nowadays. Hey guys, it's me, Eric Smith. I've just added another slot map for the year.
Buy the stamp. Buy the stamp. Buy the keys.
Yeah, buy the map
fuck
stamp.
it. Buy. Yeah. We're making MVM maps now. But yeah, you look at that, and it makes me sad.
But you guys have to make it for us.
How about you take a crack at it?
Yeah, okay, smart guy. How about you take a crack at it?
But that's why it matters. And I'm not gonna. And the thing is, I don't want people seeing this comic and letting Valve get away with doing this. Alright? I'm not saying we need to go down, storm the beaches of Valve. That's not. They're just people that own an IP and want to make some money like everyone else does and do no work. Alright? So, relatable. But
Classic IP moment.
the reality, though, is that doesn't mean that they can do this. Alright? And they can't get away with it unless we let them. We don't have to accept this comic, and I said it with you guys, if it's not good enough. It doesn't mean we get a comic. I don't think we need a comic, but if
I would take no comic over
I'll take no comic over this. Just because Valve have, as they are right now, made a comic and it's got Valve's stamp on it, that doesn't mean it doesn't make it good, and it doesn't make it in line with what came before. And I told you guys, for me, this comic, it was like the last Jedi of the TF2 series. Alright? It's got hateful messages in it, which, yes, I don't think that they're intentionally trying to piss me off or say that they hate me, but it is a form of hate because it's opposed and antagonistic.
It's careless. It's indifferent.
It's careless. It's indifferent and hostile to that original philosophy of the game.
That was a point that I was telling you earlier. It's easy. I think part of what makes the comics so funny is that they brought on writers who are kind of like orthogonal to TF2 and Valve as a whole, who are kind of detached from it, and it's easy to make humor about something you don't care about because it's like you're not invested.
And it consumes it.
You don't have to worry about ruining it. Yeah. It's
consumed all these thoughtful elements. What more are we going to let them make a joke out of? Until there's nothing left.
Well, they've done it with all of their series, haven't they?
And if you look at the game, as this attitude towards the game and to its story, as above, so below. Alright, the game's art style has been lost. Its mechanics have become muddled. Its treatment of free-to-players has just become hostile. Oh great, we gave them speaking again. Yeah, we'll just pretend that you didn't just have them muted because you made Meet Your Match
5 years
and destroyed the server system.
Was it 5 or 7?
5. They were muted since 2020.
Just a patch job. It's just lazy work from the whole way, and this is just another example of lazy work. But the point there is that as they've let their standards drop for the story, their standards have dropped for everything. And
the comics are just emblematic of how Valve acts, period.
Yeah.
Like all of them. It always has been.
And I'll give you a TLDR then, alright? So, what's the comic telling you? None of it matters. My one-word answer to that is no. No to your comic, no to your message, alright? No to you, alright? And I'm not going to accept it. I don't want any. I don't think anyone else has to accept it. If you're going to do a bad job, don't bother. All right, take it away. Either redo it or don't bother at all. And I'm going to keep on taking parts of the game that I believe in, that I value. And unlike Last Jedi, I'm not going to let it destroy
I go further than that. I think the community should
make our own.
Honestly compete. We should compete with Valve to tell a better story.
Yeah, we could.
To be honest.
Well, I've seen them make better stories, and that's the main.
We already know that they can. Yeah. I mean, Nemesis Blue. Let's for instance, like I've seen it. I don't think it's a complete story. There's a lot of unanswered questions.
I'd rather run around 2-4 role playing as that soldier.
Good ideas.
You know?
Yeah.
Or end of the line.
It's got good ideas. It's telling a story that's in the world of TF2 that like takes it seriously. Yeah, the tone's a little out there and all that sort of thing. Obviously, it wouldn't be the ideal kind of lore or whatever. But I mean, I don't think the lore that we received from Valve has been ideal either. So
we don't have to take the parts that they give us that we don't like, and there's nothing that they could do to change that. They can't stop it, and that's why in my head, these comics, I throw them away. Right? And that's why I'm angry that every time I play that game I have to listen to fucking Miss Pauline's voice, because as far as I'm aware, she's not even a fucking TF2 character. Right?
Yeah, every time I tune into someone's stream and I have to hear that, it's like, holy fuck, I want her dead.
It hurts.
I want her dead. Hey soldier, I have a contract for you. Shut up!
So
I don't mind Miss Pauline.
Wait, hold on. The fact that that's she was a character. Hold on. The fact that that's still a bug that Valve has never fucking fixed, despite their 100% being community fixes for it, should show how much they care.
Yeah. Well, they don't.
That should speak for itself. This has been a recurring bug. It's existed for 10 years, maybe 11 at this point.
Well, it's a feature now. Maybe they like it that way. We can't change it.
This is something we'll have to talk about in other. This is something we'll have to talk about in other things if we do end up doing this again. But like, I actually think if you look at the TF2 comics, that they, especially like the Manco office politics and stuff, there is a very honestly obvious. Like the more I look into it, the more obvious it becomes. Story threaded in about Valve's attitude towards TF2 and its community. I don't know if you guys saw the one I put in the chat the other day about what comic was it? It's the one where he beats up the hippies at the end.
Bidwin.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't remember his name. I don't know why I can't remember his name, but I know what you're talking about.
Bidwell something. I don't know. There's a in one of the things again. I'll be brief because it's like we shouldn't. This is about comic 7, but like there's a scene where Bidwell, I believe, is telling Saxon Hale like, oh, our customers are demanding more, and he's like, what, more hats, more weapons, more whatever. He's like, more everything, sir, and then he says. Saxon Hale like tells him off, and then he says, "Oh, and they've actually taken to making their own tools, and they're better." And he's like, "What? Our tools are meant to catch on fire or whatever." And he's like,
cheaply mass-produced things that catch on fire.
Yeah. And Bidwell basically tells him like, "Oh, you know, our customers are making they're making better equipment, better things than we're making." Which is like, when you think about it, it's like, why would they put that there? What like the story?
Workshop.
There's no storytelling value to that. Like they don't bring that up really again. That there's not really a joke they're telling with that, or at least Bidwell's telling with that.
It's just
they're not really setting up a really good joke. That's like that's not even really subliminal message. It's almost like a direct comment. Like Manco is Valve. You know, the community is the customers. I mean, Manco sells hats and weapons to the community. Valve makes updates where they release weapons, or at least they used to, and hats to the community. So, and then, oh yeah, how can I not mention this? And then Saxon Hale says, or I forget, someone comes up with an idea among them. It's like, oh, I've got an idea. Why don't we allow them to sell their tools through us, and then they could get a cut of the profits. They literally say that. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, they do.
Isn't this part of the update that added the community workshop then?
Mm-hmm.
The economy
I believe
update.
so.
It might have been.
Comic.
But
This is
it was
the economy update comic.
But it don't, let's just be honest here. Don't make Manco look very good, does it?
Yeah.
But hey, it made you laugh, so it's okay.
Well. So here's the other thing is like there is some of that with Comic 7 as well, I believe, where they show Saxonelli's bored with this. We didn't talk about this scene. Saxonelli's like he's all bored with his company, he's miserable, and then what does he do? He gives it to that little girl. I forget what her name is.
He does not give it to her. He gives it to one of his employees.
That's right. Does he give it to Bidwell? I don't remember.
He offers it to Bidwell. Bidwell's like, "Oh, I couldn't possibly." He's like, "Okay,
yes.
Other guy." Which, by the way, fuck off. You're just giving it to Bidwell regardless, but whatever.
Yeah.
I think the implication is that they fight over it and it becomes one versus.
Yeah, it's red versus blue again. This joke. Yeah.
Yeah, in that respect, like the only really serious part of the story that I've gathered, basically, about the TF2 comics, beyond the first couple, like War Update, those kinds of ones, is they're basically a story about Valve's attitude towards or relationship with TF2. But it's kind of like, I don't give a fuck. Like, oh, I don't want to work on it.
Yeah.
Well, then fuck you. Like, don't tell me a story about how you don't want to work on it.
Manco are like the stand-ins for Valve, and I hate them.
You're making all of this money off of the community's effort. Oh, I don't want to work on it. It's like you hold a. I mean, we could talk about the IP stuff if you want, maybe for different episodes.
A different video.
But it's kind of like regardless, I don't care about this story about boohoo, I'm
rich and powerful. You're small and poor.
Be accountable to their customers and shareholders or whatever.
I
don't want to hear it.
I'm right, you're wrong.
I don't care. It's not even a good story. There's nothing about it that's like substantive at all.
And that's the thing, innit? Valve. What's the difference between the law and the canon and what the community made? Because in that series, what's the difference between the Manco products and the community ones? Community ones don't catch on fire. Manco sells them. That's it. So why don't we just cut out the middleman, Manco, and just take the things that we want? And that's the idea then, isn't it? We don't have to accept the story that they've given us because we could do a better job. We've done a better job, and at the end of the day, how much of this game now is pretty much just being made by the community.
Most of it.
Um,
Now, a lot of it's bad, but who decided what was good and what was bad? Valve did.
Well, what's funny about that is not only does Manco sells it, right, but what's funny is the community has already created better mediums for selling Manco products.
That's
Marketplace.tf.
That's it. That's the final irony, isn't it?
There.
The only thing
is like backpack.tf as well.
Yeah, the final irony is the only role that Valve really have is overseeing it, and they can't even do that.
They have a legal. It's a legal role.
That's all. That's all they got now. But ignoring that part, which is a different topic. If we're talking about as artists and creatives, they're not making the stuff anymore, and they haven't for a long time. Their role, like in that comic, is literally just deciding what is in and what is out.
And just sit there in their ivory tower.
But the important irony is that they've done a shockingly horrendous job at doing that. So they can't even do that. They
fired the people who would do a good job at that as well.
Yeah, they got rid of Moby. They got rid of Moby Frank. Chip Valisic left. All their actual lead game designers and writers and.
So what authority do they have?
Yeah, they fired them all.
So what's their authority to sit there and tell us that we have to take this law and that has to be Spy's face and this has to be Scout's future relationships and this has to be Marasmus's fate? What really is telling us that? Because I just turn and I say, jog on, right? I don't have to accept that, and none of us do. And the last people that should be telling us that we have to is Valve, because they've got no authority on it, and ultimately That's what takes all bark out of their bite. And so all these people that disagree with that because, I don't know, they just want to believe that what Valve say because it's a nice, simple story. All right? There's nothing you can do to change my mind because you've not got logic on your side. You've not got quality on your side. So there's not what you can do about it. All right. Let's call it there then, guys. I mean, I could only go on.
I think it sums it up. Like anything else we talk about, would probably delve into
just repeat
stuff.
Things.
It would be like neighboring topics to it,
that
which
as
would
well.
involve the other comics or.
And because there is so much to talk about, but you'd have to come and tune in a different time.
Yeah.
Cue the outro music.
I guess we'll see how this does.
Wave to the camera, everybody.
Boys,
I'm waving.
I'm waving. I'm waving.
Right.
Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Please hold up placards with your home address written legibly for the camera.